how to make a woman orgasm.
We reveal to you the tantric way for fulfilling sexuality, perhaps with or without orgasm. When we met, I actually thought I had a pretty good sense of how to bring my partner to orgasm. And then I had to realize that unfortunately didn't work at all with Alexandra. And today we actually want to shed some light, step by step, on what to consider with women. How does female sexuality work? That, of course, also says something. There's also a bit of that in it. And yes, what are the steps? Or what is the approach? It all sounds a bit technical now. It's supposed to be fun.
And I think the first surprise is already that with the woman, it's not just about the female sexual organs. It's not just about the vagina. I could imagine that most people think if I want to bring a woman to orgasm, then it's really just about properly stimulating the yoni, as you say in Tantra, and then it's fine. And that is just not the case. En sagt gas. Comment. The female sexual energy, or also the orgasmic energy, and the same with us women, begins in our chest and heart area. And if you want to activate a woman, if you want to bring a woman to orgasm, or if you, as a woman, are perhaps having difficulties reaching orgasm, then you should initially shift your focus away from your yoni to your heart and chest area, because that's where the activation begins for us women.
Yes, I think that many men do not do that, or not, especially in sexuality with a partner. Yes, not extensively. And maybe we'll also come back to the opposing sides, namely what prevents you from reaching orgasm, because that's also really important. And it might block many women. There is somehow either a subconscious or conscious tension. So tension is definitely an issue that blocks you, but also this the fear that it will somehow lead to orgasm too quickly, or that this orgasm expectation blocks you.
Or that it goes to your yoni too quickly.
Exactly. Or goes too quickly on the nipples. And yes, I think many people, both men and women, don't really know how to properly handle breasts. And what is the secret there?
Exactly. And when we talk about activating sexual energy, and when I mentioned that we start in the heart and chest area, it's not about immediately going to the nipples and playing around a bit and everything is fine. So from a tantric perspective and from an energetic perspective, you activate the heart and chest area and your sexual energy by bringing presence there. You can do this alone or with a partner, breathing into the heart, feeling the heart. The energy always follows your attention. Whether you believe in energy or not, when it comes to sex, it is always about energy, because orgasm is also energy. It is orgasmic energy. So listen up. So bring your attention to your heart, feel into your heart, breathe into your heart, and then you, or both of you, can start by adding touch, placing hands on the heart, or simply placing hands on the chest and being present. It's very much about presence. And then you always activate a woman from the outside in. This is true for the breast, but also for the whole of sexuality. This means that you can then start to slowly circle around the chest area, around the breasts, in circular motions. First in one direction, very slowly, being present in each moment, and then in the other direction. And through attention, breathing, and touch, you activate the energy there. And then the second step is, when we flow further from this, when you are open, allowing the energy to automatically flow from your heart downwards towards your yoni, towards your vagina.
And I would like to add one more thing about this outside-in approach. I think it's also important not to immediately approach these things, these body parts directly, because this can directly create resistance in many women. And you notice or see this even in our workshops, or when the partner, yes, by accident, or because he doesn't know any better, creates a certain tension. That's why. May we, or do we have to signal to the body that it is safe? So this feeling of safety, especially if you've been in the office all day or dealing with the children, whatever stress you've had, the body needs to first come to rest. And that's why this heart breathing, being present, is very important to also prepare the body for something nice, to facilitate an opening. And then by moving from the outside to the inside, also in the chest and heart area, we first signal safety and create a secure environment so that it can then move into more intimate
Exactly.
touch.
And as you say, even though I'm now explaining how we activate it, it doesn't mean you go straight to the breasts. You can just start by simply placing your hands on the arms, or holding the woman, or holding yourself, arriving at yourself and becoming present, to then approach the heart and chest area. Each time it is simply from the outside to the inside. And then when we activate the energy automatically flows into the yoni. And what then happens, and this is something we women can do, is that this energy automatically, without you having to touch the yoni at all, brings energy into the yoni. This means that the blood circulation is stimulated, that the tissue swells, that the yoni becomes moist, and you even feel it in the yoni, and only then is the yoni really ready. It means that the energy flows from the breasts, from the heart area down into the yoni, and the yoni begins to completely automatically opens. It becomes very wide and soft and relaxes. And it requires a woman's heart energy for the yoni to truly be ready. And this is really a key when it comes to orgasm, because it also helps us to become soft and relax. This heart energy has something very, very wonderful, and opens a woman on a very deep level. And that is yes.
Before we continue on to yoni, maybe once again, yes, your experience with this heart energy.
Before I even knew what we are talking about here, I always had a connection to my breasts. And that is something we all can do. Every woman can achieve that, to come to orgasm just by touching your breasts. And that is something that comes so easily to me. So we women have many ways to activate energy, to reach orgasm, and the breasts are one point of that, are a part where you can simply come to orgasm through touch. And that is beautiful. It's an orgasm that is so deep and so pleasurable and so heart-filling because it comes from the heart, right? And just as information for you as a woman, or even as a man if you're watching this, how important or what role the breasts play in our sexuality when we have this ability.
And again here, relaxation rather than tension is key. If you tense up, you might, when a lot of energy is accumulated, have it break through at some point. But it is a completely different kind of orgasm, or also possibility, to move into relaxation and really let it wash over your whole body and carry you away. So here again, the killer actually trying to get the woman to orgasm through the breasts, or that you want it, that you come to orgasm, because through this wanting, you tense up, and there the exact opposite is true. Relaxation is actually the key.
Absolutely. So it's really always and again about being without intent, about surrender, and simply feeling in the present moment. And if it comes, it comes. And if it doesn't come, that's fine too.
So I have experienced it so often that when I really want to, I can reach orgasm, and then it feels totally superficial and dull and empty. But if I am just relaxed and enjoy the touch and also the energy in the heart without wanting anything, and it comes over me, then it is the most beautiful. That is super important. Yes.
Now you said the yoni is ready. I also want to say again, what does that mean concretely? Because the yoni is ready, many might think, now I can put something in, but that's not what it means. Instead, ready means, is she ready for you to establish contact with her, for you to come from the outside back inside, that you proceed from top to bottom, just as the woman functions sexually from top to bottom, from the heart to yoni, but also from above, then in the yoni, down to the opening. And exactly. So if the energy is down there and the yoni is ready, then she is ready for you to approach her.
Yes, and there are also wonderful opportunities to simply be present with her, to hold her sometimes. Give her all the space and time, and also this. You don't have to do anything. I think one of the biggest problems is simply that we think we have to reach orgasm, and in that moment, most of us have already lost because we tense up on a deep unconscious level, which is often not even accessible to us. Because perhaps we have experienced too often that it's about something, or that we approach the yoni too quickly without even being ready. And these are things we don't even notice. She tenses up, meaning Approaching the yoni, just touching it, feeling what feels good is exactly what helps in that moment to enjoy it and relax. And you said it beautifully, from the outside in. There are so many ways to touch the yoni. You can touch the outer lips, you can just stroke them, and really from the inside, from the outside in, maybe then approach the clitoris, this beautiful pearl, and then also very slowly the entrance. Simply place a finger on the entrance of the yoni, dwell there and stay. And now comes another key with the one edge. Let me say this briefly,
Sure,
and then
yeah.
you can say it. Then it is complete and finished. Namely, you also notice when a yoni is ready, when you do not push the finger or penis into the yoni, but when the yoni pulls you in. And that is something you perceive when you're present. That is really when you place your finger there and are present, and the yoni is ready, you feel that it is a very slow gliding in without much pressure, and that you are truly welcome and it goes very easily. And that is the moment when a yoni say 100% yes and be ready and welcome you here. And I believe that most of us never experienced that. Doesn't mean, if I'm completely honest, that I'm always waiting for it. It's just like that. It's not bad because by now I have a really good sense of when it feels good and when it doesn't. And yet I still know the difference when the yoni is really 100% ready and says yes and welcomes the penis or whatever else or not.
Exactly. So it's not about penetration to create arousal, but creating arousal to be drawn in. And what does create mean anyway? That's what I wanted to address. What does it mean? You put it so nicely that the outer, the inner labia, clitoris, and so on. And it's not supposed to be like I start rubbing the clitoris, so something happens. But rather, it should mean if you do it yourself or as a man or woman, however this experience or sensation, this feeling you have while stroking the tissue and just exploring with such an inquisitive approach to see where it takes you, also following your intuition and not your lust. I think that's a big topic, especially for men. I have this also two things that always kind of, especially during sex, I feel this rush to want something or to speed up and to go deeper, whatever it is, and to really rely on your feeling and continuously relax into it and also slow down the pace. But to look, where is there even the partner or where is the woman? Where am I right now? And yes, in this not to storm the summit, but rather to enjoy the journey there and to fully savor every single sensory impression you have along the way. I believe that is the key. Then, as you said, these waves come and I can go along with them. But if you try to push the sea so that the wave, then it's, yes, a very powerful and arduous endeavor.
Absolutely. And sometimes it can also be enough when you relax and learn to be present, just slowly let your finger slide along the line and be present. And when we feel there and are there, then it can be so energetic that it just comes over you without you having to do anything. So actually, less is often more. Less is often more.
Say something.
You just noticed that again today. And that's simply how it is. And perhaps it is exactly the opposite of what you have lived so far, of what we also see and experience in our society. And I believe that is the art, right there. To pause there, to stop, to question that, and embark on a journey to really turn everything around. Because indeed, it is about us learning again to feel with through our presence. I also believe that through, and a lot of movement, a lot of rubbing and speed, because maybe we couldn't feel much, have moved further away from ourselves and from our sensations and orgasm. And actually what is really needed is to come into relaxation, to come into presence, and to feel and perceive. And then it will become very easy. Mm-hmm. And it can be a small process. It was a process for me wonderful. And sometimes I still have it, because it was so ingrained in me to tense up. So as soon as it moved towards union or arousal, I tensed up to push it out. And it is really a path to relaxation. And it is truly a deprogramming to release that from the body, to free it from the body memory. That can just take a little bit of time and also requires patience and love with yourself. But it is so worth it, because I believe every woman, every person is capable of experiencing a fulfilling orgasmic sexuality. You see, that's simply our nature. And if we can't, then it's because maybe there are blockages or unconscious programs within us that hinder us. And if we resolve this piece by piece and simultaneously learn to be present and to feel again, including our heart and breast intestines, then we will all gradually get to the point where we can feel and experience it again.
Beautiful. Yes, shall we continue? We are now in the yoni. And then, well, I think an aspect that can be important and super supportive, especially in the process as you described it, is to use your breathing as support. Really also with presence and with your breathing. Yes, inhaling into the yoni and exhaling. So your presence and your breath, with that you can bring more and more energy into your yoni, activating it more and more, naturally through your activated chest area and your activated heart. And so you accumulate more and more energy and more energy. Yes. Would you like to say something else? No.
Say it again.
Good.
In the area.
Yoni area. The same principles apply here as we just mentioned. Again, from outside to inside. So when you also enter this temple, also ensure not to dive in head first, but to approach the whole thing respectfully and slowly, and
Also to look there, to be present, and really with your finger or with your penis or whatever. That's also the advantage of living things compared to toys. Personally, I'm not a fan of toys. I think
There is a YouTube video where we talk again about why I stopped using toys and vibrators. We can link it for you here.
but also the aspect that you don't feel anything there, and we can only understand the universe when we come to feeling, whether it's with our finger or with our penis, and then really, yes, I always call it nurturing the sweet spot and finding it. That's the spot where the orgasmic energy accumulates, and it also moves. It sometimes goes from the front further towards the back, maybe towards the G-spot, maybe it stays there and then comes forward again, and it goes further back. So it's a bit like where this energy is currently flowing, and you should follow it and lovingly take care of or devote yourself to it, and then see what simply happens.
Yes, and that's simply wonderful, that if you want to explore that together, just relax and communicate with each other. And if you can't feel it yet, I mean, Christian really can by now, you feel in your finger and also in your penis where the energy is. And if you can't perceive that yet, then you as a woman can give feedback, because you can. And when you go into the tension, you will notice it, and then it is simply a wonderful journey of exploration. Namely, to see what happens if I just follow this sweet spot slowly and present. And maybe that's not so easy. And maybe nothing happens and you just enjoy this moment. But maybe this energy accumulates more and more, and at some point, you'll notice that the relaxation, very important, like a rush, and just so much energy is not. I mean, that's what it ultimately is, that the orgasm simply overtakes you. Basically, it's a wave of energy that you feel and perceive. Yes, and I would say that is basically the tantric perspective on how you to orgasm.
Exactly. We can still talk a lot about techniques, like how do I put even more energy into it? I believe we've mentioned the most important things in this video: activating the energy of the heart, using it for your yoni, directing the energy through your attention, also bringing it into your yoni. To be very slow and sensitive there, and to relax so that the energy can flow freely, and more energy accumulates there. Then, through breathing, as you breathe yoni in and out, and
Deep
yourself,
breathing is really important to allow energy to
Exactly.
flow.
additional energy comes in, and then, if you follow this energy sweet spot with the penis or finger, whatever it may be, and add more energy through friction or presence, then everything is actually prepared for something to happen or not to happen, and there comes again this lack of intent. Sometimes it's really like a journey. Sometimes the waves are there, but they're not orgasmic or led to orgasm. Sometimes they do lead to orgasm. That's also something we should embrace and not chase the goal of orgasm, but really enjoy
And
the
that
journey
sex is
there.
only good if there is orgasm, right? It is a journey, and if we follow it and see where it leads, then it is always wonderful because it is always unique and one of a kind. But if we think sex always has to be like this and end like that, then we miss out on so much. And especially, we create a lot of frustration, I think, and pressure. Yes, so maybe as a little teaser for all of you, or maybe teaser is the wrong word, if you as a woman want to delve deeper into this, or if you as a man are watching the video and you have a partner and you feel you want to support her, then you are in the right place with us. And we have a lot of wonderful offerings, and we especially have one that is exactly about this topic, namely your feminine sexuality. Our course, Feel More Pleasure, and the waitlist is open again. The course is currently in a new round, and we will announce the new date in the next few days. So if you are curious and if you want to get to know and explore your feminine sexuality, to experience an easy, free, and above all, fulfilling sexuality, then Female Pleasure is the course that is just right for you. I support you in resolving blockages on an unconscious level, on an energetic and physical level, because very often that is also a reason, as we briefly mentioned. And we are working on that. How can you relax? How can you dissolve these blockages? And I will show you how to activate the energy in your heart space, your chest area, bring it into your yoni, connect heart and yoni, and how to release physical blockages from your yoni to resensitize it and perceive and feel much more there again. The course basically includes all our knowledge that we have gathered over the years to experience a fulfilling, easy, and free sexuality. And of course, we will link you to the waiting list for the course here under the video. Check it out, and yes.
Yeah, I'm excited. Definitely secure your spot now so you can be there next time. Exactly.
Have fun then.
Yes, lots of love, and please feel free to share your thoughts and questions with us again. See you then. Bye.